Good morning, everyone. I hope you have a nice cup of coffee. We're going to have hopefully an enjoyable and informative session for you today. My name is Sandy Miller, and I am the Executive Director at University Lab Partners. So as we kick off, we do have, we'll all be sort of checking the chat window throughout the presentation, and definitely we'll have time for your questions, any discussion, and so forth at the end. And I'm looking forward to having you get to meet several folks from the ULP team. So with that, let's kick off. Oh, and also, if you could please just put your name and where you're calling in from today, and your organization. If you could just put that in the chat so everybody can get a sense of who's on the call. All right, here we go. So our mission with University Lab Partners was, and the origins of how it began, some of that motivation was really to catalyze the life science ecosystem in Orange County. And in particular, we wanted to, rather than recruiting from outside the region, you will see in some of our activities, one of the things we wanted to do is develop the talent in the Orange County region for the, whether it's medical devices, diagnostics, pharma, and so forth. There's actually a pretty robust ecosystem of companies in the life sciences in this region, both big and small. And the other piece of that is, with our incubator lab, we really wanted to have a special place for early stage life science projects to work through that initial proof of concept and feasibility so that they could then go on to ultimately scale and grow. So as we go through this, you'll learn some of the ways that we actually fulfill our mission and vision. So we have three primary activities, or business units, if you will. One is our core business of our life sciences incubator, and we have a facility in Irvine and another one at Soka University that's about in Aliso Viejo, that's about 10 minutes away. We also have accelerator programs, and we have workforce development and education programs. And you're going to hear from the folks who run those programs in just a bit. So we have reached our 5-year anniversary, which was marked in this past December. And over that period, the companies that have incubated at ULP have created many jobs. We've had many companies graduate from our space, meaning they're scaling and they need a bigger space as they're going into commercialization and market entry. Of the 69 companies that we've had, 36 of those have been female or minority-led companies. In aggregate, those companies have generated more than $118 million and have raised more than $271 million in investment, in private investment. So a little bit about our lab incubator. As I mentioned, we have 2 locations. Our primary location is the Irvine location, and we have more than $3 million of scientific equipment and resources. And then we also support our companies that are incubating with consulting and accelerator services. And you'll also learn a little bit more about our medical devices and diagnostics hub in just a minute. We have what we call a graduation lab in the Soka University location, again in Aliso Viejo. And so this is where companies that are growing have the opportunity to almost to have more of a private lab suite and environment for them, so that their teams are growing, and it's helpful to have all of that all in one space for the companies. So we have some companies in the beautiful Soka University campus in Aliso Viejo. Overall, the benefits of being one of our incubator companies is that flexibility. A lot of times early stage companies have to sign like a 5-year lease, and that's hard to do as an early stage company. So with ULP, you have much more flexibility, and we have, in addition to our lab benches, you can also have a private office or cubicles in an open environment, depending on availability. And again, we have many resources that are really beneficial to our incubator residents, and specifically some of the relationships, the partnerships that we have with different suppliers of scientific equipment allow our companies to benefit from some pretty significant discounts for both consumables and other specialized pieces of equipment. And we have an excellent professional team that manages the lab space, makes sure that everybody is trained in all the appropriate safety protocols, and then as well on a sort of one-on-one basis, we work with several of the companies to help them improve their ability to raise funding for their next round. I wanted to give you a sense for this, just a few of our companies, and this is always hard because we love all of our companies, but just to give you a sense for some of the areas that the companies are working in, Scientific Horizons has some really cool technology that focuses on improved delivery of therapeutics and by aerosol and inhalation products. And so that in this, certainly post-COVID and in this era of, RSV and other things, that turns out to be pretty darn important for us. And then one of our newest companies is a team that moved to Irvine from the East Coast, in part because they wanted to just take advantage. They looked around the whole country and they really wanted to take advantage of all the things that are coming together in being part of the Irvine and Orange County ecosystem. So including the proximity to UC Irvine and collaborations with researchers and labs on campus, as well as just being attracted to sort of the Irvine OC lifestyle compared to some other areas, particularly, the weather's pretty nice compared to the East Coast. They were sort of in the New England area. So what they do, though, is kind of mind-blowing. So as I think most of the people on this call know, there is tons of data in life sciences, right? And of course, in many other industries. And so, and particularly with DNA, right? DNA is code, lots of data, and so forth. So they have an amazing technology that allows for that data to be stored in a much more dense way than conventional technologies that are currently available. So, this is a kind of a cool, bold statement. You can take the entire digital universe and condense it into the size of a small room. So I encourage you to check out Atomics. They're pretty exciting as well. And then Makani Science has developed this sensor for that measures respiratory volume, and it's about the size of a postage stamp. The founder, the CEO, sort of carries that around with him and pulls it out of his pocket to show you. And this is a technology that was invented by a UCI faculty member. So, and there are applications for neonatal kids in the neonatal ICU as well, certainly for adult patients and so forth. So anyway, as you can see, it's these companies and all of our companies are really working to improve patient care, which is one of the reasons why it's such a privilege for all of us on the ULP team to work with them, to have them in our facility, and to support them to be successful with doing that. And then we have different events, including, for example, we're holding a monthly pitch practice event, and we just started that in January. But these are great events where both ULP companies as well as folks from the outside, if you want to practice your startup pitch, you can come in, and it's also some nice networking. We have a panel of investors. Excuse me. I'll be opening a cough drop for my throat. But these are great events. We hold it right in our facility at ULP in Irvine, and maybe you can join us at our next event. So one of the things that we wanted to encourage you to do is to know how to apply and to become a ULP company yourself. We would love to, if you check out our site, you can, apply. That's really the best way that we can quickly let you know if we have availability that matches your needs. So I would encourage that. We are certainly happy to provide a tour, to provide you with a tour of the lab for people that are interested in becoming a company. And by the way, you'll get these slides later, so don't worry. And then next, I'm going to hand off to my colleague, Stephanie Chan, to tell you about our accelerator programs. This is Dr. Stephanie Chan.
Hello, everyone. I'm Stephanie. I'm the program officer here at ULP, leading two wonderful accelerator programs, and I'm going to talk about the iCreate first. So the iCreate program is one of the 5 federal supported hubs that focus on advancing medical device and diagnostics. There's 2 major routes for this program. One is the accelerator program. It is a 6-month program, fully customizable, designed to help startups navigate through commercialization. And selected participants can receive access to mentors, advisors, resources around a startup's needs, IP, regulatory, QMS. And then the program concludes with a virtual showcase and a pitch competition to potentially win $50,000 and also present to potential investors. Another route in the second program is the non-dilutive funding. The funding is intended to de-risk technology that aligns with being bioprepared during potential public health emergencies, such as a pandemic. Applications are on a rolling basis. We accept applications through the year. The grant awards are somewhere between $50K to $200K, and they're milestone-based accomplishments. So as you finish one task or one milestone, you would get awarded with the amount. Both pathways are open nationally and internationally. And the program itself is completely virtual, so you don't have to worry about where you're located or where your technology is. This program is global for anywhere around the world, that as long as the mission is aligned to become biopreparedness and supporting a medical countermeasure technology. So whether you're looking for expert mentorship, commercialization, funding, this is a really good way to level up your technology And beyond that, our hub is always looking for partnerships, um, forming new relationships with anybody in this ecosystem, not just looking for startups, but really mentorship, advisory, and also different capabilities we want to add to and grow the hub. So always reach out and see what we can do for you. So in addition, sorry.
Yeah, so Stephanie, I was going to ask you, sorry to interrupt, but can you give like just a couple examples for the partnerships of, because I know we have some service providers on the call, like what are just some examples of partnerships that make sense for for the iCreate program?
Yeah, of course. So the hub is designed, the 5 different hubs is designed to network in the case of the next potentially pandemic or any public health emergency. So partners we're looking for is in the case of a next pandemic, we can rapidly grow these companies, and these capabilities can be anything from manufacturing to reagents to just anything in the ecosystem that brings a very prototype really back into the pipeline and ready to go within probably a year or so. So anything from QRS regulatory, anything to expedite a technology into the real world for an emergency use purpose is a potential partner.
Thanks.
Yep. Yeah, so in addition to the iCreate, we also have another accelerator program that we're about to launch, and I'm going to have Charla talk about it in the next slide.
Thank you, Stephanie. Hi there, I'm Charlotte Triplett. I'm the Director of Venture Acceleration here at University Lab Partners. Talk to you a little bit about a program we're very excited to launch this summer. So it is a 12-week program. We will be focusing on medical device diagnostics and digital health innovations in this. In order to qualify and apply as a startup, you should be based in one of the 10 counties listed here on the slide. So this is a Southern California regional accelerator. It will be a hybrid accelerator. So we will be doing events at the beginning, at the end of the program in person here in Irvine, but the remainder of the program will be online. There's a 6-hour commitment a week for the startups to be a part of this. And there is no cost or no equity involved for this program. And you may be able to be eligible for a free lab bench for 6 months, as well as other in-kind donations of support from our partners here at University Lab Partner. The program will be focused on customer and capital readiness. So it's really intended for companies that are ready to get to that next level, whether it's bringing on your first customer or going and seeking outside capital rounds. There'll be connections to investors and strategics, as well as a curriculum that will help support you in moving your startup forward to the next stage. We will be hosting a demo day at the end, and that will be in person, and investors will be attending as well. So next up.
Thanks, Charlotte.
Yeah.
Next up, I'd like to introduce our colleague, Sam Renish. Sam?
Hi, my name is Samantha Renish. You can feel free to call me Sam. I am the Director of Education here at University Lab Partners and really lead the effort in our high school and college outreach. We do lots of outreach, both through the school system and, organically meeting students and bringing them into our lab space. Because there are a lot of equipment that goes unused every day, researchers, they'll do their experiments and then run back to the computer to crunch their data or write their grants. And so that does free up a lot of equipment, which is how we started these programs. And now we're getting so big, we're actually looking to open a new learning lab. So we do bring the students in, we do a lot of hands-on training. We're always looking for folks who are interested in volunteering or becoming a mentor or instructor with us. So if you know anyone like that, please reach out. We're also really working on those professional development. So students need, these hard skills, being able to use their hands, being able to use their critical thinking, but then they also need to be taught how to show up to a working environment, wearing the best dress that you have, bringing your smile, learning how to do a handshake, as you see Tasha here giving a handshake or teaching a student how to actually handshake. We have a little handshake workshop before we start our poster presentations. And so one of our events is Rock the Science. You can see there on the screen. That happens every summer, where we highlight our summer students and then bring back some of the winners from our other programs, like Meyer, which is our medical innovation program. And then we also have Bio Innovators, where we help students get into the science fair here in Orange County. So yeah, we have basically 3 levels of classes here at ULP. We have our introductory classes, sometimes referred to as one-day classes. They're either on a Saturday or in the evening. This is to allow students to kind of dip their toe in. We've had some investors that are not really familiar with life science come to our one-day classes just to kind of immerse themselves into this space. Our Intro to Biotech class is really great, where it introduces students and adults to all the different types of jobs that you can get in life science, because it isn't just being in a lab. There's a lot of support staff, and a lot of people don't understand all of the work that goes into trying to launch a biological product. Then the next phase is more of a deeper dive, where we have what sometimes referred to as our multi-week classes. This is an 8-week class for each one of these. For the molecular biology program, they come into the lab just one day a week. It's a hybrid program. The students have super busy schedules if they're community college students, university students, and our high school population here in Irvine. So they come after school. They come 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. They spend 3 hours a week in the lab, and there's also all this preparatory work on our portal system. We'll move on to our professional classes from there. A lot of our undergraduate students take up these types of opportunities, and mostly our residents here. So we have a flow cytometer on site, as well as an HPLC machine, which our residents can use as needed. All they have to do is get a little bit of training from us and sign up for the instrument. Those classes are 4 to 6 hours long and can be kind of bent around a busy schedule for a professional here in our incubator. And just some overview. So we have put through 1,400 students and counting into this medical innovation research and entrepreneurship program, which is also a hybrid-based program that kind of came out of the COVID pandemic. The students are learning what all of our residents are learning is how to find a clinical unmet need, how to do that research, how to create a product that fits that need, and then build a business plan around that. We also have, again, our hands-on laboratory courses that we've put through nearly 500 students and counting. And that program is just getting larger and larger. And that helps the students get into labs on their own campuses. It helps them get that first job. We want to kind of move students from going to Starbucks and maybe coming into the lab and helping us with these entry-level positions that we all know we need to fill. They also earn digital credentialing when they take our molecular pathway and they take the 1 and 2 class. We do have the ability to give a UCI continuation education certificate that is really great to put on like your LinkedIn or any digital profiles. It also, again, gives those high school students something to write about on their college application. So we spend a lot of time with letters of recommendation and helping students there. We do have internship programs. So our TAs, or our teaching assistants, are the students who went through our program. We pull out the students who are interested in working with us and try to train them up to actually be the instructor. We have a couple success stories there, which is always really exciting. And we also bring in 4 to 6 students at the high school level every summer to give them that on-the-job training and help them build a project.
Great. I actually, before we move on, Sam, one thing that I just wanted you to speak to is, when you go to the ULP website, you can see an option to donate. And what that's about is that we provide, as we can, scholarships for these courses to students. And I was wondering if you could just say a couple words about that, Sam.
Yes, so we aim to scholarship 30 to 40% of our students. We have special partnerships with other educational facilities where we'll bring in students who are being well supported with their academic institution to come through our space. The students who come to us, like directly through our website, we evaluate every single student when they fill out an application for a needs-based scholarship. And a lot of times, I know it sounds silly, we do struggle to use those scholarships. We need more students that are in need. Being placed here in Irvine is a great space because I don't have to educate parents on the importance of learning about life science from all the different angles that we do here at University Lab Partners. But those students are fully equipped. And so we spend a good amount of our reaching out efforts to bring in those community college students that are from that specific socioeconomic status to bring them in and elevate them to the next level so they can get those life science jobs. So we do scholarship a lot of our students. We scholarship over $100,000 a year, and we are looking to increase that as our program continues to grow. So if you do see that button and you feel so inclined, please click it.
Great, thank you so much. Just as we come to the close of our presentation, but we definitely want to hear from you. But there are many ways to become involved with ULP. So we talked about the opportunities to engage with these wonderful workforce development programs that Sam was just speaking to. And then with our accelerator programs, we absolutely, any good accelerator program really benefits significantly from people who have a variety of expertise, particularly in the life sciences, to help and mentor, teach, coach the startups. So there's lots of opportunities there as well. And then certainly, a lot of this, we're dealing with companies that are in B2B models. That means corporates. And so there are many ways for a corporate partnership to become engaged in a way that aligns with your company's sort of strategy and focus. So we would love to hear from you for any of these, if any of these areas align with your interests. We wanted to let you know about a couple of exciting events that we're hosting next week. So if you're an employer and you want to have some benefit from some funding to train your team in a variety of skills, do check out our this webinar next Wednesday. And then we have a wonderful webinar for life science startups to look at how to sort of manage the whole fundraising pipeline and process for a life science company.
I'd love to share a little bit about that if you don't mind, Sandy.
Sure.
Awesome. So our first webinar, as you can see, is Get Paid to Train Your Team and Learn How ULP Can Help. Did you know you can get reimbursed up to $3,000 per employee for the training that you've already provided? So this is a great webinar. In this session, you'll discover how ULP can help your company tap into the funds and turn training into a win-win for both your business and your team. So the California Employment Training Panel, known as ETP, is a unique employer-funded program designed to strengthen businesses by covering the costs of the employee training. That means more skilled workers, higher wages, and a stronger competitive edge, all at no cost to you. So please don't miss this opportunity to invest in your team and get rewarded. As you can see, it's going to be held on Wednesday, March 12th from 11 to 12. Featuring our own Martha Delgado. She's our lead here for the California Employment Training Panel. And then the next one is called our Life Science Fundraising Pipeline. So this is whether you're getting started to fine-tune your fundraising strategy. This power-packed webinar will give you tools and insights that you'll need to secure your funding and fuel your growth. They'll cover actionable strategies to boost your fundraising efforts, how to track and measure progress like a pro, and essential tools to keep your pipeline moving forward. So this is an awesome event that we're looking forward to. That will be also held on Thursday, March 13th from 9 to 10 a.m., featuring our expert Ray Costantini. He's a venture partner of Suncoast Ventures. And I believe, Charla, you would like to elaborate a little bit on that webinar.
Sure. I just wanted to point out Ray as an example of the amazing type of mentors that we have engaged here at University Lab Partners. So Ray is actually an MD and a founder himself who started a company called Bright MD in Portland and took it from idea all the way through till Series D financing, at which time he left the company and started a new startup, as founders are known to do. But the company has since exited. And so Ray has a ton of experience in what it really takes to look at your fundraising pipeline almost like a sales pipeline and really understand what does it take to close around. And he has given this webinar for me in previous organizations I've worked in, and it's been amazing to watch how he can help founders better understand outside of just the pitch, right? What it really takes fundamentally to raise. And so I would encourage you, if you are thinking about currently raising, to come and meet Ray, who is just one of the amazing folks we have in our ecosystem that can help support you with their own experience.
That's great. That's particularly helpful in such a challenging fundraising environment. Thank you, Teresa and Charla, for providing more color for these great events next week. And again, please let us know if you would like to learn more about joining the family, becoming one of the ULP resident company.